Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Bitrix24 webinar. Today we're talking about new options available to you in task and project management. My name is Dmitry and I'm Bitrix24 Chief Marketing Officer. Here at the bottom you can see my email address that you can reach me at. I'm just reminding you that even though we are going to be talking only about task and project management today, Bitrix24 is actually a collaboration platform with over 35 tools. And the cool things about Bitrix24 is that everything is integrated and plays nicely with each other. So as you'll see, our tasks are integrated with documents and CRM. So it's very, very easy to use. Here's a little bit of background info on our product and the company. The company itself was founded almost 20 years ago, believe it or not, in 1998. We started out as a web studio, and Bitrix24 as a cloud-based service was launched in April 2012, but actually it is based on an older product called Bitrix intranet that was launched in 2008. So we're very happy how Bitrix24 is progressing. It's really, really popular worldwide. We actually have clients in 225 countries and territories. So here are fresh numbers. We've surpassed 1 million companies that registered with us. That only took us 4 years. And we're very happy that a good chunk of those companies remain active users. So these are the people responsible for Bitrix24. We're actually growing very rapidly. We had, I think, 180 employees at the beginning of this year, and we already have over 200. So first, let me list all of the features that are available to you when you're using tasks and projects inside Bitrix24. So even in the free version, you get unlimited tasks, subtasks, templates, and projects. I want to remind you that Bitrix24 is now free for unlimited users when it comes to communication and collaboration tools. So tasks, CRM, calendars are considered business tools. So if you are using the free version, only 12 of your employees or users will be able to have those, but everything inside is essentially free. So the features that I'm mentioning right now are available to you absolutely free of charge. So we have time tracking. Of course, you can convert your time into billable hours and issue invoices, deadlines. A zoomable Gantt chart is very, very cool. Task templates, repeating task, and our task, the repeating task, we've actually added intervals, so you can repeat it, once a week, or you can set it to repeat every third Wednesday, for example. We have checklists, task ratings, task reports. As I mentioned, everything is integrated. Here are the new features that we've added only last month. So new interface. The task form is now customizable. You can set reminders up to a minute, and very importantly, you can decide who the reminder goes to. Favorite task, a very, very, very popular feature that you asked us and is now completely finished, is email to task and task to email. So it works both ways. You can convert email into a task, or you can create a task and add email recipient, and that person will collaborate with you on tasks and projects exclusively via email. This is often used when you enter your client's email address in task as an observer, and this person gets regular updates. Our mobile version got revamped 3 weeks ago as well, and it's essentially, it now has all of the features available to you in the web version. So it's really, really cool. If you haven't updated your iOS or Android app, go ahead and do that. Of course, when you collaborate with others, you may need access to tools like group chat, instant messenger, video conferencing, screen sharing, calendars, and of course, Bitrix24 has everything as well. And again, it's available to you free of charge. We do have on-premise version of Bitrix24, and it's much more powerful than the cloud version that I'm about to demo today. It has custom fields in task that the cloud version doesn't. It has help desk, e-learning. You can integrate Bitrix24 with MS Active Directory. It comes with source code access, so you can modify it as you want. And we do have apps as well in the marketplace that extend Bitrix24 functionality. So let's start the demo. Let me go to my demo account, just a second. Here it is. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you is actually your intranet settings. I realize that many of you are not account admins, but you should be aware of the options that are available to you. Let me clock in so this thing doesn't distract you. So you can get rid of 24 if you don't want to. You can change designations for like and unlike. Of course, because we used in different countries, you can decide when the first day of the week. Believe it or not, I think it's Friday in Iran. And there are some countries where the first day of the week is Sunday. In others, it's Monday. The date format is different, of course. Time format, US is AM PM system. Most of the world is 24-hour system. Names are, the name format can be changed as well. This is pretty important. The weekends and holidays, we have an option for creating a task with the respect of working hours. So when you have this option enabled, a task can only be scheduled for work days and working hours. So you have to have these configured in intranet settings in order to use this option in your tasks. I trusted that you guys can read all of those other things and figure out on your own. For the purpose of this demo, I will be using Bitrix24 Professional plan. So I will tell you which options are available to you free and which ones are available to you at a cost. So the last two options here, the IP restriction, let's say you want your employees to only access your Bitrix24 account from Office, or if you want to upload company logo, this is available exclusively in Bitrix24 Standard and Professional. Okay, so that's intranet settings. This is accessible only to admin, and also there in intranet settings, if you're using free version of Bitrix24 and have more than 12 employees, your admin will determine who has access to tasks and calendars and who doesn't. Any user inside Bitrix24 can customize this left-hand side menu. So let's say I'm not using my photos, I can hide it if I want to. I can rearrange items, drag them. So you can do that on your own. Okay, so here we are inside Bitrix24. We are going to be talking about task and project management. And the first thing that you'll see is the activity stream. So here, essentially everything goes through your activity stream, including tasks, unless you want to not show tasks. You can hide tasks in your activity stream if you're using tasks frequently and you want activity stream to be used exclusively for discussions. So with this option enabled, tasks will not be shown in activity stream, and then if we do this, they will be shown. Okay, so let's talk about project. Projects in Bitrix24 are the same as work groups. That's very important to understand. We're actually going to create two separate entities later this year, so you will decide whether you want to call your projects work groups or projects, but essentially it's the same thing. And let me show you how to create a project. So here you choose a name, you decide whether this project is going to be visible to all or if it's going to be public or private. Private means it will be visible only to users, Bitrix24 users that you invite. If you want to have provide external access to external users, this is called extranet. This is available in Bitrix24 standard plan at $99 a month. And when you create an extranet workgroup or an extranet project, the external users that you invite will only have access to that single workgroup. They will not have access to other employees and other projects or workgroups. So each project or workgroup comes with its own media gallery, calendars, tasks, drive where the documents are stored, activity stream, search, wiki, and lists. So you decide which ones you need or don't need. So this is how you invite people to your project. And more options you have here is for keywords, for tags. If you have projects that you run for your clients, you may decide to use client name as a tag to easily find them. So let me show you how you can, what else you can do with your projects. So feature settings. Here you configure access right, who can do what. For example, can every person in this project edit media gallery? What about calendar access, task permissions, Bitrix24 drive permissions, conversation, whether you're going to moderate conversations or not, who can search, who can use wiki, so on and so forth. By the way, I will not be able to talk about every single feature in this webinar, of course, including lists. So let me show you. If you go to training.bitrix24.com, lists is for records management. It's an extremely powerful tool. And if you go to Bitrix24 service, you can find out more information about this particular tool. Another thing you can do is, if you go and click this question mark, this launches our support, and you can search and find information about projects, work group lists, how they work, and this information is available to you right here. We do have a YouTube channel as well. This is where the recording for this webinar will be posted as well. So youtube.com/user/bitrix24/videos. That's our YouTube channel. Okay, what else I wanted to show you? Feature settings. Okay, I just showed this to you. Workgroup parameters. If you want to move your project, if you want to archive this is how you do it. Let me show you again. You go to Actions, Group Parameters, move to Archive. And you can move projects, you can archive them and bring them back to life, so to speak, at any time you want to. So that's projects. Again, the takeaway here is that projects are the same as workgroups in Bitrix24 right now, and in the future, later this year, we will introduce a separate entity with the same feature. It will be called projects, and you will be able to add start and end dates to your projects. So let's go to tasks. You can actually create tasks from 4 different places in Bitrix24, from your the daily planner if you want to. It's very easy. This is how a task is created. Here's the new task. You can create a task from by clicking here. You can do it in calendar. You can hit create task here. So the easiest way to create a task is click here. So this is the task form. We have a short task form and a long task form, and very importantly, task forms are now customizable. So if I click more, you will see that there's those pins. If I'm going to use the same fields over and over again. All I have to do is pin them. So the task comes with a name, obviously, and the you can name it anything, but it will also be assigned a number as well. For some strange reason, we've got this request 3 or 4 years ago. Some people, especially designers, they remember tasks only by numbers. So that's weird, but just be aware of this fact that every task you create is numbered. You can set the priority level for it. This is for description. Here you can enable insert videos, images, BB code, anything you want to. Okay, so responsible person created by observers, participants. So the responsible person, as the name implies, is the person who is responsible for this task. By default, in Bitrix24, we believe that only one person can be responsible, because if multiple people are responsible, then nobody really is responsible. So you can create tasks from yourself or on behalf of other employees, and you can add observers and participants. So observers are people who will only get notifications every time something happens inside the task. Comment, new status updates, so on and so forth. Participants, as the name suggests, are the people who are assisting in this task. And I already mentioned it, but let me show you that if you want to, let me add an email observer. So John at Bitrix24.com. So I can now add an email recipient, and when I create this task, John will receive all updates via email, and he will be able to participate in discussions exclusively through email. So that's very, very cool. And while I'm on the subject, let me show you how a task is created from an email. So let me go to my profile. You will see this these two long and scary looking email addresses. One is for creating an activity stream post from an email, and another one is to create a task. If you copy it, let me, okay, Control-C. Let me show you that it's actually an email address. The reason why it's so weird looking is that we want to protect you from spam. So this is a randomly generated email address. Let me show you what happens. I'm going to create a new email message. I'm going to send it to this address here. I click send, and this will create a new task in the activity stream. See, I have the new task has been created. Okay, so let's go to other settings, deadline, time planning, and other options that you have. So time planning, you can have you can add deadline, and you can add the starting time for the task, and then it will have finish time as well. You can decide whether you want the responsible person to change the deadline or not. You can, this is the respect work time option that I told you about, skip weekends and holidays. You can require approval for the task, so you will have to say, yes, this task is completed to my satisfaction. You can add your task to favorites. I will show you how to make your task favorite as well, and you can add it to your working day plan. So daily planner is this thing right here. If you have this option enabled, your task will be displayed here. Okay, task reminders. As I've mentioned, task reminders can now be sent to person who's been selected as responsible to yourself or to task creator. Usually these two are the same person. And you can either email the reminders or you can use instant messengers. So you can decide that, on 9 a.m. on the 25th, I want to email the responsible person. And you can add multiple reminders. So if you want to remind about the task every week or every day, that's easy. So this is email reminder, and this is the instant messenger reminder. You will receive an instant message when you do this. Okay, so repeat task. You can create repeating tasks, and again, you have an option here, every week, every 10 days, or use an interval. So if I want to, every third every fourth workday, I can repeat this task. I can decide when the task will have to stop repeating itself, or I can finish this repetition after a certain number of iterations. Okay, Gantt chart, I will show you. You can connect a task with a CRM element, task, subtask, tags, dependent task. We will talk about those later on as well. So when you create a task inside a work group or a project, it will be automatically associated with the project. If you create a task from the task form, you can then decide which project it's associated with. Let me select webinars. Okay, time tracking is very important too. Again, it's available to you free of charge. You can track how much time you've spent on a task. You can then bill your clients as well from Bitrix24 CRM. And our task planner is really cool because you can allocate certain number of hours per task and then track actual time. At the end, you will see whether you've spent more or less time than you planned. And this is very important when you work with clients and you do billable hours, especially if you hire subcontractors. You get paid a lump sum, and then you hire freelancers, and at the end of the day, you want to see whether you've made money on the project or whether you've lost it. So I will show you how time reporting works as well. So this is the full task form, and again, I'm reminding you that those pins here, you can create a custom form using fields that you're going to be using every time you create a task. So I'm sure that most of you do not need a task form as thorough as I've just shown you, but if you work with CRM, then you probably need this field. If you don't work, then you don't need it. So that was task creation, very easy. So let me go into tasks and show you a couple of other things. So first, let me show you that we have a list view and a Gantt chart view. Sometimes it's called, I'm blanking out, a time, what is it called? Timeline view, excuse me. Okay, so the list view is fully customizable. Here you click the gear sign and you decide what you want to display, what fields. I want to do time tracking. So after I apply, you will see that this has changed. So this is the time tracking. I can start and pause task anytime I want to. Excuse me, I clicked the wrong thing. So here I'm tracking time spent on this task, and importantly in Bitrix24 the timer works for one task only. You cannot run the timer for multiple tasks at the same time. We believe that a person can work only on one task at the same time. But if you enter time manually, which is possible as well post factum, you can, excuse me, you can add time manually to multiple tasks as well. Okay, so this was the list view, and it's also good for group actions. Let's say that you have a designer that got sick or quit and you need to reassign all of his or her tasks. You go to filter, you use the filter to find the task for this person, and then you can go down here and you can change the responsible person. You can delete all of these tasks. You can move the deadline, set another responsible person. So group actions are available. And here I've shown you the filter. This is where you can export your task to Excel or Outlook if you are if you list all of your tasks and then go to filter all. Okay, I think that's everything that I wanted to show you. Of course, you can sort your task by, usually it's by dates or by a name, but whatever you want to. So let me show you the Gantt chart view. The Gantt chart view is zoomable, and this means that whether you run a construction company and you need the your projects last months or years, or you run tasks that last only a couple hours, you can zoom in and out. So when working with Gantt chart, it's very easy to reschedule your task. You can move them, drag them along. Let me show you how task dependencies work. Let me delete this one. Okay, so I'm going to create a task dependency. This is known as finish to finish. So we support all four dependency types: start to finish, finish to start, start to start, and finish to finish. And when you create a dependency, the dependency is a rule that for example, this task can start only after the first one is finished. When you reschedule dependent task, it's very convenient that they move, drag along with you. So I'm not going to go into dependency in depth, because if you're a professional project manager, you know what it is, and it's important to know that we support all four dependency types. So let me show you where task templates are if you want to create templates. I've mentioned that you can create repeating tasks, and those are the tasks that repeat themselves at predictable intervals. For example, your accountant, he or she has to file taxes, corporate taxes, every quarter, for example. So you know that this task will reoccur on a given date every 3 months. However, there are tasks like hiring or firing employees. You are pretty sure that this is going to happen in the future, but you're not. You can't say that we're going to fire people every 2 weeks. So for the tasks that repeat themselves but are at irregular intervals, you can create templates and then create tasks out of the templates so that you don't have to enter all this information again and again. And folks, I think I forgot to show you how checklists work in Bitrix24 and how favorite works. So this thing here is the star. It makes a task favorite and it will be filtered here. So usually you reserve this option for tasks that require attention. I didn't show you how to add checklists, but it's it's really it's brain dead simple. So here I'm adding checklist. That's how easy it is. Okay, so back to our filters here. So your tasks are filtered as ongoing, so that these are the tasks in progress. If you have been selected as a participant and assistant with any tasks, you would see those tasks here set by me, those tasks that you've created. If you have been added as an observer, they are listed under following tasks. Favorite tasks, we've just selected a favorite task. All tasks. The project view, so if you've added tasks inside projects or groups, they would be listed here. And I want to show you a very cool thing called supervising. So here I am able to see tasks for everyone. Those red counters here, this means that a task is past due, or it doesn't have deadline, or it's pending your approval. So red counter means it requires your attention. Let's go to Alex and see what's going on here. So here, let me switch to list view. I can see all tasks for Alex. How come I can do that? Well, actually, if you go to company structure, and this is available in the free plan as well, you see here I am the CEO, I'm on top of everyone. And because I have company structure configured, I can have this supervising view. I can look into any department. I can look into any employee. And let me scroll back. Okay, so here I can see what's going on with the HR department. So that's a really cool option for a supervisor or a manager or a business owner, and again available to absolutely free of charge. Okay, so the last thing I want to show you are Bitrix24 task reports, and they're fully customizable. You can actually create your own custom reports if you want to. Here is the form for creating a custom report. But the cool thing that we've created most popular report types for you already. So the efficiency report shows you how many tasks were completed on time. So you would typically build those for your employees. The employee resource tracking is very cool report that I personally love. So remember, when I was showing you the task creation form, it had a time planning and time tracking option. So this is exactly this. So here I can see that we've allocated 18 hours to Danny White to work on tasks or projects, and he actually spent 144. Same thing for Mark. I can build this report for myself or for subordinates, for group tasks, our projects, for any time period, specific project, and I can select whether I want to build this report for tasks that were completed or are pending review or in progress, so on and so forth. So if you go and Google Bitrix24 workload planning, I think, workload planning, you will find this blog post written 3 years ago that shows you how this type of report works. And this is extremely important, again, when you are working with billable hours. So this is pretty cool. Let me go back to, okay, so we're finished with tasks and projects and reports. You can, by the way, copy and export reports as well. So let me talk about other options that you may find helpful when collaborating on projects. So the first one is calendar. So calendar, this thing here is actually a calendar grid. So don't get scared. So this is my personal calendar. I can also view tasks if I want to. I can see events from company calendar or other work groups. And the view is, you can use it as a daily planner, as a weekly calendar, or a monthly calendar. So this is, you can synchronize it with Google Calendar, with your mobile calendar, so on and so forth. Let me show you a couple of cool things here. So you can configure access to a calendar. So for example, let's say you run a busy medical practice. You have one receptionist who schedules appointments for 5 different doctors. So you can set Bitrix24 so that one person will be able to run calendar events for different people. So let me show you how to add a new event in the calendar. By the way, you can add a new task from the calendar as well. So I'm going to schedule oh, why is this? Let me, to all employees. Okay, let's say I'm going to schedule a meeting, and I want to, you can specify time zones. If you work internationally, I can say, okay, I want it to be on the 26th. On the 26th, okay, that sounds good, and it's going to add on the 26th to we'll make it short. Oh, I think I switched 10 p.m. So this thing here is called a event scheduler. So if it's red, it means that somebody can't make this time. So if I try to schedule a meeting for this time slot, I know that Derek, Les, Mark, and Bonnie are not able to attend. So in this example, the schedule is pretty free for everyone. But if you run a busy company with lots of meetings, you will find the event scheduler really, really, really important tool. Whoops, I dragged the wrong thing. So here you can create, let's say it's a weekly sales meeting. Description, again, all options are available to you here. You can invite all employees or specific employees. I have Jennifer, not Jen, I'm sorry. You can make the meeting public. It means that, it will show up in calendar with a name, or you can make it private. You can ask people to confirm or decline invitation, and if this meeting is scheduled far in the future, then you can ask to reconfirm the attendance. And other options available to you, make the event repeating. So if it's a weekly sales meeting, you don't want to be scheduling it every week, you can create a repeating event. And if you're using Bitrix24 calendar for meeting with clients, there is a connection with the CRM element. So of course, our calendar, it can do much more, but essentially it's very easy to use. If I want to, you can use it as as an appointment scheduler for if you're a law office or medical practice, anything. It's very, very easy to use. Okay, so I'm not going to go in depth for the calendar any further. Let me show you our instant messenger. Again, it's a very, very familiar concept. If you've used Slack or HipChat or Skype, any number of Telegram or WhatsApp, it's very, very similar. So you can create public and private chats. You can chat with employee one-on-one, We have video calls, audio calls, again, absolutely free. You can create video conferencing for up to 4 people. We have bots here. If you work with bots, we support /commands. Settings here for notifications, because sometimes you don't want to receive too many notifications. So here you configure notifications, and every department you can create a channel, separate channel for any work group or department. So if you want to create a new public chat for Project X, that's how easy it is. Okay, so what else might you need for working on projects? Documents. Okay, so let me again remind you that if you go into any project, any work group, it has its own drive, that's where the documents are, its own task, its own calendar, activity stream, photos, wiki, and list. So if you go to my drive right here, you can configure access rights to, you can share files, you can create public links. So let's say I want to, obviously my drive are files that by default only you have access to. Let's say you want to share access to this folder with another person. Let's say I want to give Ben Franklin or Jennifer I want to give her ability to edit documents. That's how it is. So if you go to company drive, this is typically done by admin as well, you can do the same thing. You can configure who has access to what files, or here on the drive level, you can assign permissions for the entire drive. Typically, your IT department would have access to everything, and then other people would only be able to read files. So this is how it's done. Again, we're not going to go into document management in depth, but when working on projects, you probably will need to work with documents as well. I just want you to be aware of the fact that it's a very flexible system. It works essentially the same way as Dropbox. We have syncing. You can access your files from mobile devices. You can give out public links if you want to. Here, get public link. So I think I've covered everything that I wanted to talk about today. Just one last thing. We have tasks and we have client management as well. And I want you to be aware of this fact that, if you want to work with CRM, you can issue quotes and invoices. It's very easy to use. And we have a separate webinar and separate training manuals for client management as well. Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye.